Welcome back to Comic Frontline, everybody. I am Brant Fowler, aka the Gonzogoose, back with you for another comic review. This time I'm looking at Original Sin Annual number 1. As we know, Original Sin is over, but they did do this annual, and this annual was written by Jason Latour instead of Jason Aaron, with art by Enes Cizik, colors by Chris Chuckry, and cover by, I'm not sure. Oh, Julian Totino Tedesco. Sorry, couldn't find it in my notes. And the variant cover by Francesco Francavilla and Christian Ward. So basically, this annual focuses on the previous Man of the Wall before Nick Fury, which his name was Woodrow McCord. This is the guy that Nick Fury took over for. And so basically, this entire issue is about his journey, how he became the Man on the Wall, who his mentor was, who the guy before him was even, and the threat that they faced back then in the 30s, and how he kept journals and everything, and how Nick Fury got introduced towards the end of the story, how he got introduced to, well, actually they do it at the beginning and the end of the story, how Nick Fury got introduced into this whole thing of the concept of the Man on the Wall, and the reasons why he took it up after this guy, and we get an insight into the life model decoys and see just how long Nick Fury has been using those, and it dates all the way back to the beginning of S.H.I.E.L.D. So Nick Fury's never been on Earth all this time. That's a huge revelation. Minor spoiler, but we knew that from the Original Sin miniseries. So the art in this story was really fitting for the story it was telling. It kind of fit a period piece kind of story where it was set back. It was more simplistic art, so it harkened back to more classic comics. Even the coloring style was more reminiscent of older comics and everything. And there were the aliens, the style of the aliens they fought. It kind of reminded you of these classic, Kubert-esque or Devil Dinosaur kind of stuff going on. I thought it was really well done, a really classic feel to the whole thing. Even the waitress that McCord had a thing for kind of had that Betty Page thing going on. So it was a really interesting story. It's not a story you ever really need to know, just if you're interested in this whole Man on the Wall thing that progressed from whoever, I can't remember his name before McCord, but that guy, McCord, Fury, and now Winter Soldier. It's kind of interesting seeing the history of that and why it's needed and how each person is chosen, and it seems like each one of these people have one unifying common thread, which is they're basically loners. They don't have much in this world. They don't have many people that depend on them on a personal level. They're basically by themselves, and that's kind of a recurring theme. It's Punisher could have very well been the one to take that mantle up, but he is more of a street level character, where Winter Soldier is a little bit beyond that. So it kind of makes more sense as to why Winter Soldier would be in that role. It was a well-told story, a very interesting story. Aside from the Nick Fury parts, it's a character you never heard of, you don't know. So if that doesn't interest you, then you're not gonna dig this one. But for me personally, I was totally invested in the Original Sin story. I was really blown away by the whole Fury turn on how he did use all these life model decoys, and that he was this Man on the Wall out in space all the time. So it was interesting learning the progression there and the history of this particular position for me personally. Just kind of like one of those extra stories behind the scenes, kind of a DVD extra kind of thing. And so I appreciated it for that. And for that alone, I'm going to give this, for writing art and for the story itself, I'm going to give it all 4 out of 5. I thought it was a really good story. If you liked Original Sin, if you liked this whole concept of the Man on the Wall, you're going to like this. And frankly, it was far better than the Winter Soldier book itself, sadly, which I really wanted to like. So 4 out of 5 for Original Sin Annual number 1, and that's going to wrap up this review. Check out all the other reviews here on Comic Frontline, all the other content as well. Check out comicfrontline.com and comicrelated.com, as well as zone4podcast.com and Frontline Gaming Zone on YouTube. Together, all your number one source for all your comic news, reviews, podcasts, video games, and so much more. And, of course, tune into our horror corner that we're doing all month long in celebration of the Halloween holiday. So, with that said, that's going to wrap this up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.